When you go out there and start trying to find a tech job, everybody can look at your resume and see that you've never worked in tech. They know that you're making a career shift.
One relatively trivial question: Epics, when you were in the hospital and you were dealing with Epic, is Epic an operating system?
So Epic is a company, and they make a variety of softwares, from my understanding, that helps hospitals with their efficiency, like pulling medical records, just day-to-day tasks that nurses may do, getting reads and scans and stuff like that. Their programs, they have like a variety of programs and software that makes the hospital environment more efficient. I know there's a word for it.
Health information systems is what it's called, or health information technology. That's the lane that company falls up under. Yeah, because in the medical field, everything's digitized. All your records are on databases, and guess what? They have to have cybersecurity personnel for there to manage that stuff. Or even they have tier 1 people that are responsible for passing out the iPads and the phones to the nurses and the doctors. Like, all that stuff is IT stuff that has to be accounted for, has to be protected, has to be put on some type of network, and the network has to be administered by some system admin or net admin. Like, all this stuff that we learn about is applicable in so many different fields. So it's not just the tech field. This stuff is in the finance and banking field, the educational field, the healthcare field. It's everywhere. So when people be like, oh, they're laying off tech people, let's just say you are a tech worker that got laid off about 2 years ago from working at one of the FANG companies out in California. Well, if you're a database developer or a cybersecurity person, you could easily take your skill set and go work in the healthcare field, because you'll be doing the same thing, essentially, just with different companies on a different mission. But it's pretty much the same thing at the end of the day.
Another question: do you work, when you were working at the hospital, was that a straight 8 to 5 job? What were your hours?
So I think I was on because I don't know about you, Chris, but I like working swings and the midnight shift. So I think I was on like the closing shift. I forget what that was, but you pretty much come in. I forget, but it was closing shift. I left when it was dark, just because less traffic coming in and going. But it's a hospital, so they have people all around the clock.
I got a question.
Okay,
how important for you was it to have your resume updated, and what did that look like for you?
As you know, Zakiba, it's very important to have an updated resume. I think I even shot my resume to TechG a couple times, and it's very important because having just one keyword on there could be the difference between nobody looking at your resume to multiple people looking at your resume. So
another question: how long did it actually take you to get responses from employers?
I think I got the hospital job fairly quick, because one of my fellow students, he already got a position there. So it was just kind of like a hookup. He told the recruiters about me, and it was just a done deal after that. So yeah, quit my job at Publix and went to the hospital. And it didn't take very long.
And that was after you passing the A+.
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
Now, keep in mind, guys, you can get hired by companies and not have your certification. I have a student right now. She got hired as just an entry-level IT job on a 6-month contract before she even passed her A+ hardware. Obviously she still has to pass the certification, but companies will hire you. So what I'm saying is, when you guys are putting your resumes together, you can put on your resume that you are currently in a training program. You can even list TechG on there, saying I'm in an IT training program to learn my A+, my Net Plus, or whatever, or if you're going to a tech school or whatever the case may be, you can put that on there. And also with the resumes, once you guys get your resumes up and popping, it's important that you create a LinkedIn account and an Indeed account. And what's the other major one? It's Career Builder, Indeed, and there's another one I can't think of. And it's important that you put your resumes on these sites, because recruiters, they will reach out to you. Even if you're like, I'm brand new to IT, I don't have any experience, doesn't matter. There are recruiters out there who are specifically looking for brand new people into IT to do these tier 1, tier 2, lower level type jobs. And like my man's Demetrius said, you just work those jobs, learn everything you can learn, so you can fatten that resume up, put it back out there. And guess what? Recruiters will start reaching out again, or they'll just never stop reaching out. They start offering you jobs with, higher pay and more responsibility, because they see you got more stuff on your resume that you might qualify for.
Something else I want to say that's like a gem. Like I'm telling you, it's gonna make a huge difference. So if let's say you don't have the experience, but you got the willingness to learn, a lot of companies really like that. What TechG said about not having your cert, like that hospital job, there was a lot of people there quite a few people there that they didn't have any IT certifications whatsoever, but they did have like some tech experience here or there, you know. And a lot of it was pretty much like stuff pretty much we do day to day, like logging into a computer system, something simple as that. But something I wouldn't say that's like a hidden gem. Like if you don't necessarily have the experience, but you have the willingness to learn, and you come on time every day, and you networking with like some of the people there, like some of your coworkers might hate, oh, this dude, you know, he kissing butt. But like you there to network, like your coworkers, you could be cool with them, but if they hating, they hating. Tech G actually told me this stuff, so I'm just kind of kicking it back out. If you network with some of the people, I'm telling you, you could get promotions, raises, get better opportunities. Because at that same hospital job, I went from that tier 1 stuff, then they actually tried me out, and even though it didn't last too long, I'm still happy for the opportunity. Field tech, so I was actually going out there touching some of the hospital equipment.
Cool, that's cool. Next question, man. How did you go about putting your resume together? Because me personally, not speaking for nobody else, but from what it sounds like, we in the same boat. Even though I'm up there, I'm 38 pushing 40, I've only had 1, 2, 3, 4 jobs. I've stayed on those jobs for like a period because I had other things going on at the same time, here nor there. But my thing is does that reflect badly, even if, you know, I got the cert and all that, just putting that little work experience on there, that's not gonna matter?
Believe it or not, like that Publix experience that I had, because you know it's technology, but we don't think of it like you putting stuff on the scale, you read the measurements, and using cash register. Well, not really the cash register, but you know we have little electronic devices on there. I put that on there. Sometimes you print out a receipt and you got to label it. That's pretty much RFID tracking, pretty much right there. So yeah, I don't think it's going to get in the way. And then in my current work environment, we got guys, they just got their security plus, their net plus. They're like near retirement age. Like it's one guy, he said he's like 75.
Yeah. So when it comes to resumes, so you said you've had 3 or 4 different jobs. Now, how long did you work at those jobs?
We'll say jobs that I put on I've had in total like 5.
Have you been consistently working at the companies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a positive for you. That shows that you're stable. You're not just trying to hop from job to job. So you can list your prior work experience. You know, you're working at where the shop that you're working at now, whatever you did before, and just put on there everything that you did. Because what it is, when you go out there, start trying to find a tech job, everybody can look at your resume and see that you've never worked in tech. They know that you're making a career shift or a career switch. So they're not going to hold it against you, especially if your resume demonstrates that you've always been employed. You don't have any major breaks in employment and things of that nature, like you've held a steady job for X amount of years. So they're not going to hold that against you because you're making a career shift from one industry to another. So you can still put that stuff on your resume. And then, like I stated earlier, you can put that on you can actually write on your resume, like you're currently in a IT training program to get certified, to get your A+ certification, yada, yada, yada. And prospective employers, they will see that. And IT recruiters and stuff, they will recognize that. They'll know what it is when they see it. So it's not going to be something that you should be ultra worried about. But if you are worried about it in terms of how it's written up and drafted up, there are resume services that are available. Some are free. Some might charge a little money. I would probably pay some money if you can afford it, because some of these people, that's what they specialize in. They'll look at, okay, everything that you did, figure out a way to put it in some pretty little bullet points to make it, seem like some fly stuff or whatever. But, I'm just being serious, because you'll be shocked I used to help people write resumes. You'll be surprised at some people, they look like they're trying to write book reports. It's like, no, you need to write things in bullet points, highlight the important stuff, especially if it has to deal with numbers and money. You want to make sure you kind of highlight that in a bullet point. But yeah, that, just to, get back on track here. Your past experience is not going to be a hindrance, because there are people, like he said, there's somebody 75 at his job. Matter of fact, I know of a guy right now who did 20 years as a correctional officer. He used to work with my aunt when she was a CO. He's in his 60s and he just passed his A+ cert. He's trying to go into the IT field.
He ain't trying to deal with that no more. That's rough.
Yeah.
Right?
Matter of fact, there's another guy. He was a retired DEA agent. And the reason he got retired is because he got shot up. And he decided this wasn't the life for me anymore. So after he retired, he went back to college, went all the way to the PhD level. So he has a PhD, but he decided he didn't want to go into criminal law, justice, or whatever. And then he decided to go get his A+, net plus, security plus. And guess what? His first tech job was working at that same hospital, because that hospital is kind of, I don't want to say like a chain, but there's like a couple of them in this city. He was working at that hospital doing something. Matter of fact, I got to catch up with him. But last time I ran into him about 6-7 months ago, he was loving life in terms of, opportunities and potential. And you don't have to worry about getting shot by drug dealers anymore.